I've been a school janitor for 27 years. Last week, I found a student's journal that made me break every rule in the employee handbook. The kids think I am invisible. That's the first thing you learn as a school janitor. Part you become part of the building itself, like the water fountains or exit signs. Sit and walk past me, continue their conversations about breakups and test anxiety as if I am not there. Free to nod politely but rarely remember. My name is Howard, not the custodian after nearly 3 decades at Westridge High. I've made peace with my invisibility. It lets me notice things others miss. Like how Mr. Peterson, the calculus teacher, brings an extra lunch every Thursday for Elijah, whose family can't always afford food, or how the popular girls who seem so confident actually hide in bathroom stalls to cry sometimes. Last Tuesday, while cleaning under the bleachers after a basketball game, I found a composition notebook with Premade written across the cover in bold black letters. I should have just turned it in to Lost and Found, that's protocol. But when it fell open as I picked it up, a single sentence caught my eye. If I disappeared tomorrow, I don't think anyone would notice until my seat was empty for a week. I recognized the handwriting immediately. Maya Chen, parent junior, on a roll, always volunteering for everything. The quiet girl who stays late in the art room, who smiles politely when teachers praise her work, but never quite meets their eyes. The girl who cleans up her own spills in the cafeteria and always says thank you when I hold doors open. I shouldn't have read more, but I did. The journal entries spanned months, each one darker than the last. Maya wrote about her parents' expectations for perfect grades, about panic attacks hidden in bathroom stalls, about feeling like an imposter in her own life. The most recent entry dated that day described in detailed methodical steps how she planned to take her own life that weekend when her parents went out of town. I sat on those bleachers for 20 minutes, my mop forgotten beside me, trying to figure out what to do. Protocol was clear. Give the notebook to the guidance counselor, file an incident report, let the professionals handle it. But it was 8:30 p.m., and something told me that by the time this notebook worked its way through proper channels, it might be too late. So I did something I'd never done in 27 years. I looked up a student's home address in the janitorial office's emergency contact binder. An hour later, I was sitting awkwardly at the Chen's kitchen table, the notebook placed between us. Maya's parents stared at me in shock as I explained why the school janitor was in their home after hours. Maya herself stood frozen in the doorway, her face a mixture of anger, embarrassment, and something else, pen maybe relief. You read my private journal? She finally said, her voice barely audible. Yes, I admitted. And I'd do it again because you matter, Maya. You were not invisible to me. What followed was one of the most difficult conversations I've ever witnessed. Years of pressure and expectations and unspoken pain poured out across that kitchen table. Maya's parents, successful surgeons both, had no idea their daughter had been suffering. They saw the perfect grades and extracurriculars, but had missed the person behind the achievements. I was written up for protocol violations the next day, accessing student information for non-emergency purposes, removing school property from campus, making unauthorized contact with a student's family. My supervisor warned me I could be fired if it happened again. I nodded and accepted the reprimand without argument. 3 weeks later, Maya stopped by my supply closet during lunch period. She looked different, not magically cured, but somehow more present, more solid. Her parents had found her a therapist. They were having family sessions together. She was dropping an AP class to take ceramics instead. My mom wants to know if you'd come to dinner next week, she said, handing me a thank you card. She's making dumplings. Inside the card was a sketch she'd drawn, parent a man in janitorial blues holding a mop like a staff, standing tall like a guardian, me, but not invisible at all. Sometimes breaking the rules is the only way to truly do your job. I've mopped these same floors for 27 years, but that night was the first time I truly helped keep this school clean of the worst kind of stain, the loss of a young life that had so much left to give. I've been invited to Maya's graduation in May. Her parents saved me a seat in the family section.